Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We are coming to you from South Hadley, Massachusetts. I am your host, Gary, and joining me is Holyoke's very own local historian and creator of the historic tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Cahoon. He offers both public and private tours, as well as presentations of the local canal systems, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, as well as various parks and streets in Holyoke, South Hadley, and Chicopee, Mass. Now you actually lead these tours and give these presentations yourself, is that correct?
That's right, and this one was on 2 different years. I gave 2 different tours through the Wyckoff neighborhood.
And so today we'll be talking about the Joseph Woodruff House at 28 Central Park Drive. So tell us about the Woodruff landscape.
It was an Olmsted landscape, but it still is. It's very well maintained. In 1923, the Olmsted brothers were hired to make a landscape on a plot of land on Central Park Drive, and they were asked to also give the sketch for a nice house that would fit into their landscape. It was wanted that they blended together, and the results was superb. There's a nice blend between the landscape and the architecture of the house. So the house is separate. We're also going to talk about the whole Wyckoff neighborhood and about the history of this house a bit. But the landscape is such that out front you have some beautiful trees planted and bushes closer to the house that make it again a great complement to the look of the house. And also, when you go towards the left of the house, you drop down into an oval region which used to have a small pond, and it doesn't have it anymore, but that blended very well into the whole design of the house. And towards the back, they used to have a shed, and they still do have a shed, and it has the name of the owner, the 1924 owner, Joseph Woodruff, and initials on it. Now, the nicest part is the blend of the house's landscape with the left part of what's called a terrace. And as you go down towards it, it drops in a very subtle fashion. It has nice bushes around it. Now the oval part in the middle is supplemented by a rectangular portion around it. The whole is only about 100 feet wide, but it's a beautiful look to it. And if you ever have the chance, you should go down and see it and see how well it blends together. When they drew up the plans, they make sure that they follow the elevation changes because the backyard drops downhill. But the whole is very gorgeous. You get to see the midsection of the trees in the back instead of the tops. And the whole is quite gorgeous. It fits in very well the house.
And tell us about the Woodruff House.
All right, the house itself is an Elizabethan designed house. It was designed to fit in with the landscape itself. The design of the house was given to the landscape architects. They actually came and took a design of the house themselves. And then the house was made, I think, the year after. And they were built together, so they blended together. And the effect is quite incredible. The present owner has sent me pictures of the inside of the house and some of the back of the outside of the house, things I couldn't see. And the inside is quite beautiful. And the outside, again, complements throughout. Now, the house itself is very well taken care of, both inside and outside. And the grounds are very well taken care of also.
And so quickly before we continue with the rest of our interview, just to fill our listeners in, if you want to find out more information or sign up for any of his various tours, you can check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And to set up any private tours or find out anything else, you can email him directly at bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com. And they are perfect for fun, educational, outdoor activities for the whole family, or for your group parties, especially those special occasions and get-togethers. And they're also good just for getting outdoors for the day. So getting back to our interview, tell us about the Wyckoff neighborhood that this home is in.
All right, the Wyckoff neighborhood was built originally with 2 streets on it. Central Park Drive and Mountain View Drive, and 2 were added later. But those first 2 were made under Olmsted design plans, so that the road curves in a certain fashion, trees are put in certain places, so everything blends together very well. There's no house the same on this street, and there's no landscape architecture the same, and there's no, with the curving of the street, there's no scenic view that's the same from any 2 or more houses. Everything is different. And since 28 Central Park Drive is in the middle of this Wyckoff neighborhood, it has the beautiful house, the landscape, and it also has the beautiful road and great views from its area. Towards the back, you can see the Mount Holyoke Range, so forth. So the whole net effect of all those 3 blended together is absolutely spectacular, and it's well taken care of by the owner, so he maintains that even after 100 years after the plan was made. He makes sure it'll be 100 years after the house was made. Everything is still in great shape.
And tell us about the history of the house.
Okay, Joseph Woodruff was the man who lived there first, and he was the man to get the design going, and for both the landscape and for the house. And so he's the one that is responsible for this great view. Now, if you read about him, he loved the community of Holyoke very well, and he wanted to live in a place that really gave off a sense of beauty of the whole of Holyoke, and he was very good at that. He was mostly a person that sold mill supply equipment to the paper and fiber mills of Holyoke, and his family from 1923 into the late 30s lived in his house. He didn't end up dying in Holyoke area. He moved out to Manhattan. He died there. For a while, he had his own paper mill supply business called the Woodruff and Company, and that was on Main Street. And he also, in his youth, sold insurance. And so he was a great person, and you can see by the design, the look, and the scenic views of this house that he really loved probably the history of Holyoke, the landscape of Holyoke area, and just living in a nice home. Thank you.
And thank you, Robert, for educating us on your tours, and we want to thank our listeners again for tuning in. And you can tune into a large selection of our other podcasts and much more at his website. And again, that is holyokecanaltour.org. And you can email him directly for private tours or to inquire about anything else at bobcat4214 capital B @yahoo.com.